Okay, the music of Fireboy DML there saying remember me and talking about remembering somebody. I think that was the main reason why the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, while having the funeral rites for later former governor of Oyo State, that is Dr. Victor Omololu Sowemimo Olunloyo, and in a bid to remember his legacy and his contributions, his immense contributions to the growth of education and politics in Oyo State and in Nigeria in general, the school, the institution, the Polytechnic Ibadan, was renamed after the man. But we'll talk about that in the course of the program. It's from the Dailies on Solutions and 93. And the students of the Polytechnic Ibadan trooped to the streets yesterday morning. They had a rally in front of the government house, Agodi Ibadan, where all access roads to the secretariat were blocked. They made their intention, their demands known, saying that they do not want their school to be renamed after the man Victor Omololu Olunloyo. They gave so many reasons for that, which we would like to get to listen to some of the students at Agodi Secretariat yesterday. It's still from the Dailies on Solutions, 93.9 FM.
Actually on the street today because the governor, His Excellency Sheyi Makinde, changed the name of our school to Omololu Olunloyo, which we don't want it. We want the legacy back. We want the Article D, the Polytechnic Ibadan. That's what we want. That's why we are outside here. So the governor should please and change back the name of our school. Exactly like me now, I'm a finalist. I'm in HND2 presently, going out with Omololu Olunloyo doesn't make any sense. It will affect our result. It will affect the people that are just coming in.
We know it's not going to cause any impact, but then the legacy is what we want to still leave. We don't want the legacy to change. The Polytechnic Ibadan is the only school with the Article D, which everybody knows, and that is what is giving us that leverage.
We just want our school to remain our school. Instead of spending all of those money to rebrand the school, just let our school remain our school. And sincerely, we are open to discussions. Other buildings, other auditoriums, classes, hostels can be named after anybody the way the governor seems fit. But the particular name of the school, TPI, we do not want it to change.
Some aggrieved students of the Polytechnic Ibadan at the Agodi Secretariat yesterday protesting the renaming of the school after Dr. Victor Omololu Olunloyo. Comrade, what do you make out of that? You read some of them were saying that it will affect the legacy of the school. Someone of them said it is the only institution that has the Article V in front and all those things. So let's look at the man, Victor Omololu Olunloyo, and his contributions and the renaming. Where did Oyo State government go wrong? If there was any wrongdoing.
You see, Damola, this penchant for naming and renaming institutions, it's upsetting. What goal is it? What is the intentment of it? I will go back in time when the University of Ife that I attended was renamed. I was running a postgraduate program when that school was renamed in 1987. I can tell you that there was resentment in spite of the stature. The monumental stature, rightfully so, the monumental stature of Obafemi Awolowo, there was suppressed resentment. You understand? But because of the stature of Obafemi Awolowo, he conceptualized that university. I think it wasn't him that built it. It was Ladoke Akintola that built the university because he was the first visitor. I think his first visitor was chancellor. There was resentment, a name that has been there since when, and that has become a global brand. You understand? Now, I will go back because we have to take a look at this, globally. Now, when last did you hear, how many centuries ago was Oxford University, Cambridge, George Washington? I mean, how many times have you heard them renamed? I recall one particular university in Ondo State. It started as Ondo State University, I think about 1982 or 83 or so. And then it became Adekunle Ajasin University. And then it became Ondo State University again. And then it was moved to Akungba when the states were created. And then was renamed again Adekunle Ajasin University. Ogun State University. It used to be Ogun State University. And then it became Olabisi Onabanjo University. And then the military came and changed the name back to Ogun State University. And then politicians came again and renamed it Ogun State. Well, I mean, for God's sake. For God's sake. You see, these things, the technical university, and then the governor came and changed it to, what do you call it? Sheikh Ajimobi. Why? Because he was the one that had the initiative. He was the one that, understand? And then this legacy, the Polytechnic, you say, look, there are, and let me say this, the first principal, or he's the first vice chancellor of UI, what does he have named after him? A hall of residence.
Who's that person?
I think Melambi.
Okay, Melambi Hall. Okay, yeah, Melambi Hall. Yeah.
Isn't that enough?
Yeah.
It will endure forever. It will endure as long as that institution endures.
And I think the first Nigerian vice chancellor, Professor Kenneth Dike.
As a
library, that's the library. Because I went to UI, so I know Kenneth Dike Library.
So if library is named after an individual who is associated with education, for God's sake, isn't that a monument itself? You understand? At the Polytechnic Ibadan, there is this peculiar growth that was designed for it. There used to be this, there is a South Campus, there is a North Campus. And then development was to come from the North, and then there's what they call the Middle Belt. Then development was designed originally so to come from the North towards the Middle Belt, and from the South towards the Middle Belt. The two has met now in the Middle Belt. And I was there then when the Middle Belt, the central administration, you understand, 3 units. The first unit was commenced by my boss there. So that's a complex, a whole complex in itself. So why not name it after him? If you're not going to name the library after him. There is a new library. There's an old library. Then there's a new library in the central Middle Belt, the one they call the Middle Belt. But that administrative block, I mean, one unit has been done. Even that just single unit imposed it. Of course, certainly the other units will be built. That's impressive. You are not ever going to miss it if you come into the Polytechnic. But you see all this naming and renaming.
Now, I would like to read a part of what the communique released by the Student Union government of the Polytechnic Ibadan yesterday. They said the Student Union government, while they respect the victor... okay, let me read it. The Student Union government says while they respect Victor Omololuloyo's contributions, the name, the Polytechnic Ibadan, holds a national and international identity that must be protected. What is the meaning of that?
Exactly what it means. Identity, brand. I mean, you want to Lipton tea. Pardon the commercial.
Don't worry. Sean is listening to you. He'll come for you after the program.
Brands that we grew up with, you understand? They're still, they repackage, you understand? They reposition and all of that. But that brand, and then people remain loyal to the brand. People, I mean, it's a brand.
Okay.
I, for one, because I work there. And when people say, so which institution do you attend? Ibadan Poly. I say, which school, which institution is that? Ibadan Poly. I say, there's no such institution that I know of. I say, Ibadan Poly. I say, no, the Polytechnic Ibadan. Then you start, it's not the name. It's about branding. It's about naming and renaming. What is the essence? I think that particular decision,
but shouldn't there be a kind of law or constitution guarding the renaming of such monument or institutions, especially because it seems our government, like you just narrated what happened in Ekiti, was it Ekiti? And you had narrated what
Ogun.
happened.
Ogun Anike, Ogun Anondo.
Ogun Anondo, rather.
That university, that Ondo
Now-
State University used to be in Ekiti. It was named Ondo Ekiti State University. And then it became Ondo State University. And then the same. Look, Nnamdi Azikiwe, he had to put it in his will that UNN must not be named after him.
He put it in his will.
Yes.
Because he probably foresaw that
The penchant. The penchant for.
the misuse of, do we call it the misuse of power by our political
Well,
leaders?
no, maybe we should
or
not.
our leaders?
Maybe we should put it mildly and put it in terms of introspection. It's
So Nnamdi Azikiwe put it in his will.
He
that
did.
His name,
I got
UNN
to-
must not be renamed after him.
Yes, I got to know about that a few days ago, and I think it was this issue that brought it up. For God's sake, you name one university.
Then
rename
back
it
to
and-
my question now. Shouldn't there be a kind of law guiding all those things, or a process under the law?
Maybe a process.
achieve that.
Maybe a process. Maybe a process.
So that one governor will not just wake up one morning, or one president will just. I remember the same issue happened during Jonathan's era when University of Lagos was to be named after Moshood Olawale Abiola. Where I saw so many funny things on the net, on the internet that time, Mau and all those things that, and the students of Unilag protested too.
Even the renaming itself lacked introspection on the part of the president. Yeah, that lacked introspection. I mean, how do you do that? A whole JFK in the history of the United States, what is named after him? I think in New York, an
Talking
art,
about John F. Kennedy.
yes,
Okay.
it was a cultural facility that was named after him. You know, I think this thing was everything be subjected to politics? Or I mean, it goes down to, believe me, with all due respect
Now,
to those who took that decision.
I would like to ask this question now. With the protest and all this dust it has raised, do you see the Oyo State governor or the Oyo State government rescinding on that decision to rename the Polytechnic Ibadan after Omololu?
I do not know. I can't remember how the governor put it. Maybe he said,
Jonathan, the president, once rescinded on his decision to rename University of Lagos.
did he recede? I don't think so.
He did.
They just kept silent.
I think he did.
There was no pronouncement that they didn't.
Okay, they just kept quiet.
Yes, now.
And the issue just died.
And it just like,
Okay.
there wasn't any official statement to that effect.
But I heard there were the alumni of Unilag then took the
Matter
federal
to
government
court.
the matter to court, and the court, I don't know which of the courts now, that the court was gave the judgment in favor of the alumni of the.
I
of Unilag.
think the Polytechnic Ibadan has a strong global reach
Okay.
to challenge this anywhere and anyhow they deem fit. And I think there's a need to challenge it and stop the executive, anyhow we can do it. I'm in power, I'm in office, I can do anything I so wish. No. I mean, it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Naming and renaming.
Okay. You can also be part of the conversation by calling the studio line 0912-222-2939, 0912-222-2939. You can as well drop your comments on our Facebook page, Solutions and 939 FM. Now let's go to politics. On Monday, the PDP had a NEC meeting where we talked about it briefly yesterday on the program, where it seemed that all dust had come to settle in PDP, that there was no more rancor, that it seemed
No more war.
no more war, that everybody seemed to be on the same page. But yesterday there was another meeting of concerned PDP leaders, which had the likes of Abubakar Atiku, we have the likes of Ali Limoke, the likes of Babangida, the former governor of Niger State, many for like more than 6 former governors of the
Yes,
PDP.
and any.
And then David Mark, they were all there yesterday.
Tambuwal.
And with what transpired, some of their assessment of the PDP, they said the PDP has lost direction and efforts so far. The efforts to revive PDP so far look feeble and had failed to allay the uncertainties. And now on the national TV yesterday, one of the board of trustee members of the PDP, that is Mrs. Mariam Ina Tiroma, who was also a former Minister of Women Affairs, gave us a kind of, dicey state of the PDP. Because with what she said, it's clear that PDP Board of Trustees, the Governors Forum, and all those segments in the PDP are not on the same page. Maybe let's try to listen to what Mariam Tiroma had to say.
Well, the people that you saw there in that video, they are all leaders of the PDP. And the concern of these leaders is that as at the moment, PDP is in a serious turmoil. And 2027 is fast approaching. If the PDP is not united, it will be difficult for the PDP to wrestle power as at now. And we know that the country today is in serious challenges and Nigerians are looking for an alternative. That's why we call ourselves a democratic country. If Nigerians are not happy with the government, they have the right to make a choice. That's why every 4 years we must have an election. So the PDP now is concerned that as at the moment we have these challenges in the party, and if we don't come together, then we are in fact disappointing Nigerians. Therefore, we have to come together, have a meeting, and see how we can remobilize the PDP and see how the PDP can come back to where it used to be in 1999.
Right.
Now that takes me to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. It says Atiku, David Mark, Tambuwal, and Lamido, others want PDP collapsed into coalition. That is one thing that other members of the PDP do not want.
What's the meaning of that? You know, when I saw this news yesterday and I saw these characters, Atiku, David Mark, Tambuwal, Lamido, the former governor of Niger State, Mrs.
Ali Babangida,
Mrs. Anenia,
there were so many there.
And they were not talking about PDP, you understand? I said, are these not the characters that are promoting ADA
and ADC?
And they have written for registration. I said, what are they talking about? PDP. I thought they had left PDP. Maybe they are in another party. That David Mark has been named the interim chairman of ADA. And they're still talking about PDP. I was saying, what is happening? And they now said PDP should look for to
a platform to do coalition. PDP should collapse into a coalition.
Are they in PDP or I don't understand again?
That's why I said it seems there's still confusion.
They are confused. But I think what the problem is this. By the meeting of PDP on Monday, if PDP does not raise a finger, even if PDP does not have a presidential candidate, in 2027, people will still vote for PDP presidential candidate, except for the fact that the ballot, the logo will not be.
What makes you think that way?
Because people, their default is PDP. You see, PDP might be having problem at the national level, but most of the state PDP platforms are intact. You understand? And there is leadership. Okay, in Oyo State now, I mean, the governor is your disputed leader of the PDP. Everybody, knows. because he holds the stick and the carrot. When last did you hear about the chairman of PDP in Oyo State? Because it is they say what the governor asked them to say and all of that. Now, when this character now showed up, I said this is a result, a consequence of, a sort of agreement, to work together as a party that we saw on Monday.
Okay.
You understand? And if PDP, holds together as a party, that's a problem for AD. And the question now is, they say, they're talking about PDP. These characters, founding members of PDP. So what did you see them do to rescue PDP since the problem started in 2023?
I think.
Have you seen anyone there?
I think
they simply moved away. Atiku is a major cause of the problem in PDP. If Atiku did not get the presidential ticket in 2019, probably PDP will be in a better position to fight this government.
But that was in 2023.
Yes, Atiku is the cause.
What is the major problem of the PDP at the moment now?
Atiku. Look, when you are doing a narration in history, and they will not say this final straw, the one they used to go to final straw.
But talking about the trouble in PDP today, Atiku's name barely comes out.
But because people suffer collective amnesia.
Samuel Anyanwu's name seems to come out more.
What pulled the trigger? I mean, we must have a sense of history. That is a major issue with us in this country. Collective amnesia. People think of the immediate. People don't trace. Okay, you are treating symptoms. You are treating Anyanwu, Abi. You are treating Wiki. What about the article? Look, the issue with PDP in 2023 was zoning. Zoning is the baby of PDP. We all know that. Zoning is the baby of PDP. And it has been like that. And every other party has, tended to align with it. It is the turn of the North. It is the turn of the South. And then they set up one committee. I remember Governor Autumn was the chairman of that committee. And then they said, bring report. Well, zoning or no zoning. And then they said they have thrown it open. And then they asked them, Shebi Buhari is from the North. After Buhari 8 years, he should go to the South. Do you know what PDP articles men said? They said, Rara. They say, in PDP, the North has only done 3 years. That one was done by, what do you call it? Yaradua. It's out of 16 years. PDP has done only 16 plus 24. They say North has done. They say, are we talking about the North or about Nigeria? They say no. And then they stood logical. They said, the moment they did that, Damola, I knew PDP was going to be in trouble. And then they moved away from the party. And then when they saw that, things might be mended, you understand? Because there must be a platform, you understand? They are now saying, I find it quite amusing.
But on Monday, after the NEC meeting of the PDP, the acting national chairman of the PDP, Umaru Damagum, he said that the PDP has resolved to recognize Sam Anyanwu as the national secretary. But this lady, Mariam Tiroma, who also happens to be a member of the BOT, seemed to be on a different page because she said that not everybody, because she said she was at the meeting held on Monday, and she was also at the meeting that was held yesterday too. She said not everybody in the PDP is on the same page of recognizing Sam Anyanwu as the national secretary of the PDP. And that seems to be what is still tearing PDP apart.
I think... Did you hear anything about the Sheyi Makinde?
She said that she mentioned so many things. She even spoke about
have you heard anything? There are basically two recognizable tendencies. The so-called Wiki and Sheyi Makinde-led tendencies. After the Monday meeting, which was, let us not forget that the NEC meeting that was called by Kosho Edo. And they went to INEC. INEC said, well, your chairman signed it. We cannot recognize it. Then the Wike faction said that meeting called, the 100 neck meeting called, and the letter signed by Kodo Esho is invalid. That what they want to hold is an expanded caucus meeting. Those people are saying, no, we are holding next. But by Monday, the two groups met. Maybe it's the two groups that met. So did you hear? And when they said, Damagu said they were going to recognize Samayawu, did you hear anything contrary from the so-called Sheyi Makinde group against that one? Now, the woman said it is not everybody that agrees. It is not usually everybody that agrees. This thing is consensus.
Maybe we should listen to what some of our excuses on the issue of the National Secretary of the PDP. She also made mention of the meeting, the PDP. She said a group of PDP people, PDP members, met with INEC when they met with INEC.
We saw that.
Let's take a listen at the lady again, Mariam Chiroma, on that issue.
Actually, there is confusion as I'm talking to you now. There's confusion because the issue is that some groups met with INEC and they were telling us that they had a meeting with INEC and that INEC told them that what they have in their portal, the signature of the National Secretary they have in their portal is that of Anyao. And that if Anyao did not sign any letter from PDP, INEC will not respect that letter. But I was a member of the National Working Committee before. I was the national woman leader of the PDP. And I know that the Deputy National Secretary is a member of the National Working Committee. We have deputies, but only the National Secretary, that his deputy is part of the National Working Committee, meaning the Deputy National Secretary can sign letter for the party. And I don't think that has changed.
Right. So you're saying that they're making up a story about INEC?
As far as I'm concerned, that is the situation in the PDP. So why today INEC will say they will not accept a signature from anybody except Anyao? So if, for instance, if Anyao traveled and there's an emergency in the PDP that we need to write to...
Yeah, that's a good point.
To INEC. So what happens?
Absolutely. That's a good point.
So the most what we need to know is that PDP must be straightforward. PDP must come up with the truth and say this is, and then it must be what they said, because the Constitution is there. It's our backing. What the Constitution says is what we follow. So some people can just come up with stories and say that is what INEC said. Can INEC now sit there and dictate to political parties? No. They cannot dictate to political parties. They have their own roles to play in Nigerian government, and the PDP or the other party, all the parties have their own roles to play. So I don't think what they said is the right thing.
Now, with what this woman has said, it's clear that there is still rancor within the PDP.
I don't think so. You heard her, and the proviso for the Deputy National Secretary to play the role of secretary in acting capacity is when the substantive secretary is unavailable.
Said some people are coming up, they are making up stories. Who are those making up stories?
What stories are they making up? That they met with INEC and INEC said this. Look, even before they met on that Monday, we have said it here that the path for PDP's restoration, at least rebuilding, is get it right. Look, the man did not say, I don't think the man said, this is our position. I think what the man said was that go and read the Supreme Court judgment. No, I don't think the man told them that. And if they said that's what they have on their portal, it simply means they're abiding by the rule of law. So, what else do they want? You want the rule of jungle to prevail? Certainly not. Certainly not. You see, everybody has positions based on interests. But I think the leaders of the party, look, Bukola Saraki, experienced hand. So there are certain times when you have to take position based on principles, this is right, this is wrong. This is wrong because this is not the way the rule book says it. Look, we are not in the jungle. The party has constitution, You can't be operating like you're in a jungle. I mean, when you fight to a certain point, you have to.
But still talking about the PDP, with all these efforts being put in place by all parties and the PDP, all stakeholders in the PDP, do you see the PDP coming out successful with the role Nyesom Wike is playing under the APC administration? I mean, that is.
When you say successful, I don't.
Successful. I mean, all right. But let me just say, are they going to be able to put their house in order in preparation for 2027 effectively? Because Wike has come out many times to say that come rain, come sunshine, is going to campaign for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
That simply tells you that that is a party that is not that is lacking in discipline. What the G5
and this same Wike is still making some decisions or influencing some decisions.
Why?
Within the same party.
I mean, elections was approaching. Some people were saying they were not going to work for the party. They were working openly. They should have been outrightly expelled.
For anti-party activities. What could be more anti-party than that?
What could be more anti-party? The governor of Oyo State was going around and they ought to have been expelled and the ticket taken from them.
Nyesom Wike has said it many times.
They ought to have been expelled, including the governor of Oyo State, and party ticket taken from them.
So who is afraid of Nyesom Wike in the PDP?
Well,
or do we say that is the PDP afraid of Nyesom Wike?
Do you think anybody could have done that in UPN? Do you think anybody could have done that in MPN? I mean, even in the days of SDP. You understand? A governor of a state in SDP. Let's imagine Kolapo Ishola there. During the presidential election, between Tofa and Abiola, then Kolapo Ishola in Oyo State will be saying he's supporting Tofa. Will you think he will not have been
now
expelled?
Looking at all the big names in the PDP now, and they're allowing Wike to thrive?
It is not Wike alone. We should not. What about Atiku Abubakar?
This lady also spoke about Wike. Let's listen to what she said about Nyesom Wike.
What about Atiku Abubakar?
Because we have always said it many times. Many people believe that Wike is the one controlling the PDP today. But let's take a listen at what she said. She debunked that.
What we are saying is that the assumption in the PDP is that Wike has taken control of the party. And that is the assumption of everybody. And as far as I am a founding mother of the PDP, and the condition that PDP, when PDP was born, it was born in my house. And PDP came up with policies that we have a political party that we'll call People's Democratic Party. It means it belongs to the people, not single person. Everybody in PDP has a right. That's why we say People's Democratic Party, and we have this thing as the umbrella. That's everybody is under the umbrella. And when we say PDP, we say power to the people, meaning the people has the power, not single person. So as far as I'm concerned, we will not allow one person to control the party. No. That is not democracy, and that's what Nigerians want. When Nigerians came together to form political parties, when General IBB, Ibrahim Babangida, set up the government of Abdusalam Abubakar to ensure that Nigeria returns to democracy, political parties were formed in Nigeria, meaning Nigeria must return to democracy, meaning Nigerians must decide who governs them. But at the moment, when we have a political party that is being dictated by only one person, is that what we wanted? Is that what our founding fathers wanted? No. Everybody must have a voice. We must, if we don't agree, we come together, we come and see, these are the reasons I don't like this. That is what democracy is all about.
Right.
But for us to sit down and say, we cannot say anything because somebody is there and that whoever plays the pipe dictates the tune, what does that mean?
Madam Mary Ina Siroma there, a member of the BOT of the PDP. Now, let's talk about that.
People are peppering over the issues. How did a Wike emerge? So influential. I don't even want to call it powerful. How did the Wike emerge so influential within the party? Let me tell you. Fact is, Wike had been strategic, forward-looking and thinking and tactical. The only issue that Wike has is his character. is an abrasive character. If it were a Bukola Saraki that took hold of the reins of the PDP like that, he won't be overt. You understand? You know, style. It is Wike's style that is drawing undue attention to him. Abrasive character, lacks public manners in conduct. If it were a Bukola Saraki, it would have been a different ballgame. He would just be, doing the manipulation and the influencing from behind the scenes. So, and how could a character like Wike have emerged so influential? Where were the articles? Maybe article in 2019 after losing the election. Okay, let me give you this scenario. Now, Wike was supporting Tambuwa in 2019. You remember the convention was held in Port Harcourt. Wike was financing the convention, everything, financing Tambuwa, until the owners in court of the party sent Ali Guso to them. I said, do you think this is a championship for featherweight? I mean, this is for heavyweight. Atiku is the heavyweight. Give the ticket to him. And they obeyed. And they obeyed. This same Wike obeyed the owners, the fathers of the party. Said, this is a contest for heavyweight. Atiku is the only one that can face Buhari in this regard. Which is, I think, is a wrong thing. It is wrong notion. What if it was a Tambuwa? You understand? Youthful, he had a national appeal. Yes, it might not be heavy, but that would have been the way. So, after that, Atiku went to Dubai. And then Wike took hold of the party machinery, installing and financing. And, somebody says it was not financing, right? Okay, but he was putting people in place strategically. You understand? And when it was installed in 2023, they pulled. That same Tambuwa was the one that pulled, was mandated. I've forgotten the person that, I think, he was called to Mina. He was called to Mina. He was instructed. And, and he did what he did. And the man has been unforgiving. Maybe that's his own nature. Unforgiving, and he will take his 1 pound of flesh. And look at the dilly-dallying that they are doing. They had gone to ADA. And then we see them come. They have submitted a letter of application for registration. And David Mark has been appointed. They said, what do you call him? The nominated coordinators for geopolitical.
And the same David Mark attended the concerned PDP leaders meeting.
So they are not concerned. Since 2023, they were not concerned. I don't, you see the kind of people that populate the party. They now say they are concerned. I mean, those are serious guys. But that tells us this country should not take them serious at all.
But even, with what Wike is doing with the APC, can PDP be taken serious? Because no matter who emerges as the presidential candidate of the PDP, Wike is definitely still not going to work in that person's favor. And this same Wike is attending all these crucial meetings. He has the key to all these things. He has the secret. Let me just put it that way. He has the secret.
Have you forgotten that in 2023, after the elections, they meted out the disciplinary measures to some members, and then they withdrew the disciplinary measure?
Because?
I don't know. They didn't tell us.
I got a comment here. Somebody said, let PDP give Wike its presidential ticket come 2027 so that he can test its popularity, since it's the one dictating and calling the tunes in that party.
I don't think he needs that anymore. He just needs visibility. Rivers is half of Rivers is in his pocket.
Half of Rivers is in his pocket.
Whole of FCT is in his
the entire pocket. FCT is in his pocket. Yeah. And he's one of the most favorites of the ministers.
You see,
to Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the moment. We've seen many clips of Bola Ahmed Tinubu at different events, eulogizing the efforts and the achievements of Wike.
Okay, nothing lasts forever.
Okay. I understand your point there, but I won't go deeper. Okay, before we leave this issue now, looking at the front page of the Guardian newspaper, 2027, Northern PDP leaders settle on ADC as preferred coalition platform. There are two coalition platforms now. We have the ADC and the ADA. Yeah. So now looking at the names of this Northern coalition, I mean, these people are bent. PDP members, they are bent on moving.
Are they not the same people that went to register ADA?
I can see okay, we have.
And they used Agbado, the same Agbado as symbol of that.
Sule Lamido.
Are these the same ADC people?
Sule Lamido, Tambuwal is there. I can see David Mark, Atiku, and the likes.
So the same people in Ada are the same people, are agreeing to be on the ADC platform. The same people.
The same people.
I don't get that. I mean, are they confused? Yet they are still talking about PDP coalescing into the coalition. Abi? That one is worse than double speak.
That was why I said there's so much confusion rocking that party, PDP, at the national level at the moment.
Because all of these guys are PDP. All of these guys are PDP. They are talking about reconciliation, putting PDP house in order. What have they done since 2023? You understand? Except for El-Rufai, that says he will never, even his dead body will not be found in PDP. I don't get them. But, we'll see. 2027.
But looking at their stand now, saying that PDP needs coalition, looking at the account of the Nigerian Tribune, Atiku, David Mark, Tambuwa, Lamido, others want PDP collapse into coalition, says party now a shadow of itself. That means the PDP is not formidable enough to run or to contest with the APC as it states now. We have a former Benue State Governor, Gabriel Suswam, saying that PDP at the moment is in ICU.
Yeah. At the state level, PDP, we're told, is still active. You understand? As a party. Yes, problems at the national level. But at the state level, that the party's chapters are still working. So, it is quite interesting. I think we need to wait and see how this pans out in the next two weeks or thereabout. Because I find it ridiculous. Those who applied for registration are still the ones that want to be on the platform of ADC.
And this woman that we heard her voice too, she is a BOT member of the PDP. She says she attended all the meetings and she's still part of those clamoring for coalition too.
You see the characters that we're dealing with.
Esther from the Dailies and Solutions at 93.9 FM. Let's go on this short commercial break. We'll be right back.
TMTC is the option for pregnant woman with HIV. No go lose God, the baby can be HIV. This opportunity, TMTC is the option for the only option. Pregnant woman with HIV. The baby can be HIV.
Oh yes, a woman living with HIV can give birth to a HIV-free baby with the right care, treatment, and supports. All you need to do is go to the nearest health center and start your PMTCT services today. Our trained health workers are ready to care for you and your baby with love, respect, and confidentiality. So, what are you waiting for? Take the bold step now. PMTCT is free, it is safe, and could save a life. Early detection saves life. For more information and support, call us now on 6222. It is free. This message is brought to you by the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, with partnership from the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Now, your one-stop chemical place is here in Ibadan. Oh yes, for all kinds of chemicals and pet bottles, House of Mabel Chemicals and Pet Solutions is the place to be. For nitrosol, caustic soda, soda ash, sulfonic, thickener, phenol, pano oil, ethanol, menthol, paraffine, hydrosulfates, wax, industrial camphor, carbolics, centiacure, diacort A, citric acid, silicate, TEA, carbopor, including borax, shea butter, eucalyptus, sulfates, PKO, baking powder, as well as oils like glycerin, hydrogen peroxide, vitamin C, C, vitamin E, cocoa button, and all kinds of fragrance. All products are available at Ojota price. Visit House of Mabel Chemicals and Pet Solutions today at Caminus Phase 1, Block G, Shop 7, Ogunpa Market, Ibadan. Telephone 0905 411 0044 and 0913 203 6254. House of Mabel Chemicals and Pet Solutions, your one-stop chemical place.
Stay ahead of the curve and get updates on the latest trends in politics, government, policies, education, economy, social development, amongst others.
We're happy to announce today that both the federal government and the organized labor have agreed on an increase on the 62,000 naira minimum wage.
Join
Ayodeji Ajishokwe
and
Adedamola Lafenwa
on from the Dailies every weekday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Solutions 93.9 FM as they dive into the headlines with in-depth analysis and feedback from you on different stories from the national dailies. Start your day by gaining fresh perspectives, uncovering the story behind the story, and join the conversation. Because your voice matters. From the Dailies, the conversation never stops.
All right, you're welcome back from that short commercial break. It's still from the Dailies on Solutions and 93.9 FM, and we're still looking at the front page stories of different newspapers we have in the studio this morning. Now, a quick look at the Guardian newspaper, and about 2 or 3 newspapers also have that story. It's coming from Ondo, and it says Ondo government's quest to probe Akeredolu's death sparks controversy. And I'm trying to look for another paper that has that story. Okay, the Nigerian Tribune also has the story. Controversy trails Ondo government's planned inquest into Akeredolu's death. Why is Ondo government digging out of this at this crucial time?
Betty Akeredolu is the target. Let us unmask it.
Betty Akeredolu. That's the wife of
yes, I don't know. The woman has been, do I call it tempestuous? You know, her utterances, her conduct is not in consonance with our culture. You look at the statement she issued when that memorial, something was demolished in Owo.
Yeah.
And they called the Olowo a revered stool in Yoruba land. Highly reversed too. He called him Baby Oba. I mean, that is irresponsible. If our culture, and I dare say that if our culture does not give respect to their egoists or whatever they call them, I mean, Olowo, they call him Baby Oba. And he said her husband single-handedly, appointed. I mean, that is irresponsible. And that is, she went to her state to run for Senate and all of that. And of course, but of course, this is about how Ketty is set. There are different tales. He died in Nigeria. He did that. I think he was brought in, his body was brought in, Abi, from outside the country. And that the woman, she was going to celebrate her 70th birthday. Until people called her to that. And the man was on his sick bed.
We heard about another story that he died in a Lagos hospital or something.
But we were told that his body was flown in, Abi.
So there were different stories actually surrounding his death.
Why should that be? Why should there be versions of whether he died in Lagos or died in, But you see, apparently, and the woman was going to, in fact, IVs had been issued. The man was on his sick and deathbed. And the woman had planned, not was planning, until people called her to order, 70th birthday. I said, is something wrong with you?
While the husband was on
his deathbed, not even sick this time around. because it was the tail end. You know, he came back after some time.
Yes.
He was flown back frail and all of that. He was receiving the Southwest governors in his home here in Onirike and all of that. And then, of course, the thing, you know, he never went to Ado. He never went to Akure. You know, he was, and they said the governor could, you know, govern from anywhere and all of that. And all sorts of things, you know, started. And then he disappeared from the scene again. They say he had been flown out and all of that. So, of course, it's a political tool to silence her because they will put us manner of things together and probably lay the death.
Because one will begin to wonder why the state government is doing that. But we were told that he died of blood leukemia
and a few other complications that came with it. Well, you know, politicians now. Politicians can turn anything into a tool. How can you now? Okay, you're not going to blame the wife. Okay, the man was governor, yes, but he has family, and whatever happens to him health-wise is an issue of his family,
within the family,
not the state. You understand? So, but they're going to turn that the governor. I think that is. I think that is not tidy, and I think that woman has no. I don't think she has any relevance. You understand? In Ondo State political landscape, she doesn't even reside there anyway. She lives in Ibadan, but I think she should be ignored. I think she should be ignored. The family of the husband certainly have no influence, not to talk of control, over her, and she's just doing her own thing.
Okay, I have this. Just got this comment on. Okay, it's a funny one. It's talking about the emergence of two coalition platforms now, the ADC and the ADA, and the crisis rocking the PDP. It says it's indeed Bola Ahmed Tinubu's magic stick is working. Tower of Babel product, already divided by platforms alignment. The coalition is gradually losing its grip. President Tinubu will win because of posterity. This tussle to grab power from him is out of vengeance, greed, and pride. God hates such heart of competitors. Bring your strong reasons why you want to kick Mr. President out. For National Assembly to reject you is Nigerians rejecting your appointment, and God stands with them. Calm down, people in the north. Wait for 2031. Coming from Michael Oladimeji.
You know, the whole thing is driven by...
Because there are two coalition platforms now, the ADC and the ADA.
And PDP. PDP is a coalition platform.
On its own. Now, one more story before we wrap things up on the program today. Worsening abductions, killings, Boko Haram's renewed attacks, others alarming. Sultan's JNI, page 5 of the Vanguard.
Do they want to tell us they don't know themselves? Look, if all of this starts in Yoruba land now, and it is an internal thing, when, what do you call that man? Who is now Ariel Kakanfo, started his own thing. Everybody knew
Gani?
Didn't people know them? People knew them now. It is an internal thing. Let them find... They know themselves now. Shebi Gumi has been going inside the forest before, Abi? And speaking to them. And they said they should be giving amnesty. Can you imagine? So,
okay, you mentioned Gumi now. Could that be the reason why he was barred from... He was deported from...
I think forgotten the other one. You know, we use that thing. I've been inside the forest talking to the bandits. That man was arrested. The man was arrested in Cairo for some terrible security reason, and he was deported here, and he has been in detention ever since. You know, so these things they know themselves. Why is Boko Haram thriving in the Kanuri areas? Why? And the Northwest is not paying attention. It should be the North. Is it not the same North? So they know themselves.
Okay, Comrade Adeja Jope, thank you very much for being a part of the program this beautiful Wednesday morning.
My pleasure riding with you always, brother.
All right, that's all for today. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for a fresh edition of From the Dailies on Solutions and 93.9 FM. My name is Ade Damala. Lafenwa. Let's go out there and make it another winning Wednesday. Good morning once again.
The views and opinions expressed in this live broadcast are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the editorial policy of Solutions 93.9 FM.
I don't know why there's so much.
Keep it 93.9. Keep it 93.9.
Killing brothers, children fighting wars,
Keep it 93.9. Keep it 93.9.
Where the energy day, where the sound day, where the news day, where the sport day, where the cut day. Hey, now yeah, because you know the turn. We know the turn. We know the turn. Hey, we know the turn. We know the turn. We know the turn. Hey, energy for energy day, everything day, yeah. On 93.9. I said you need 100. 93.9 to okay.
93.9. Your remedy dial. Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Òkè àdókè bọ́ńlá yàrá ní bàtì ó yàrá Jericho UCH ẹlẹ́yẹlé Ṣàngó Apẹtẹ Ọ̀jọ́ Báṣọ̀run Ìwòrò Total Garden fẹ́ẹ́rẹ́ Ọlọ́run ṣògo ó sùn Solutions FM má lọ tò gbé.
ẹ tiẹ̀ mọ́ rìn bí mo ṣe ń parí mọ́tò yìí gẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ dé o ó yẹ wá yẹ̀wò.
bá a mú kọ́kọ́rọ́. ó tiẹ̀ dáa báwọn kọ́kọ́ tó ló ṣe náà rèé kò burú àwọn kọ́kọ́ yóò tó gbẹ̀mí mi màá yà wábì kan tà sí.
kò tí ì lè tó bẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ mi bóyá kí wọn náà mọ fetí sétò alákọ̀wé ọ̀tọ̀ ló bá bọ́ lọ́wọ́ ogun fòníkú fọláǹdé tí ń bọ́kọ̀ rẹ̀ fínra níkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM níbi tẹ́ẹ̀ ti láǹfààní láti kọ́ nípa onírúurú ìṣòro tó lè máa da ọkọ̀ láàmú tẹ́ẹ̀ sì láǹfààní láti máa béèrè ìbéèrè lọ́dọ̀ àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ ìbò ń pè ní auto expert ìbẹ́ẹ̀ ti mọ̀ pé béèyàn bá nímọ̀ nípa nǹkan ayé kọ̀ mọ́ fi jẹun alákọ̀wé ọ̀tọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́rú Wednesday láti aago 4 títí di aago 5 rọ̀lẹ́ ní kẹ́ ti máa pàdé ọmọ yín ọ̀rẹ́ yín Fatima Abdulkadri Adùfẹ́ Adé níkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM alákọ̀wé ọ̀tọ̀ àǹfààní láti ní ìmọ̀ nípa ọkọ̀.
ṣé Ìbàdàn lẹ mọ̀ ẹ mọ̀ láyìípo àbáwọn nǹkan wo gan lẹ mọ̀ nípa Ìbàdàn tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ ní ìdáhùn sí gbogbo àwọn ìbéèrè yìí àtàwọn nǹkan míì tó tún gbé yín lọ́kàn nípa Ìbàdàn ẹ jẹ́ á pàdé ní gbogbo ọjọ́rú Wednesday látago 8 sí 9 àṣálẹ́ níléeṣẹ́ rédíò Solutions 93.9 FM ilé àwẹ̀ ní Òkè Àdó Ìbàdàn pẹ̀lú atọ́kùn ètò Adérẹ̀mí Adégbóyèga níbi tí ó ti mọ̀ sàwọn ìtàn Ìbàdàn fún yín lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ìpele là á kọ́lé ìpele là á kàṣẹ̀ ìpele kejì ètò ni ó ti mọ̀ gbà wọn mọ bíbí ìlú Ìbàdàn tí wọ́n ti làmìlaka lálejò àtàwọn tí kì í sọmọ bíbí ìlú Ìbàdàn ṣùgbọ́n tí Ìbàdàn ti gbé gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ti mọ̀ wípé Ìbàdàn nílùú tó ń gbé onílé tó ń gbé àlejò tí wọ́n sì mọ̀ dáhùn sáwọn ìbéèrè lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan ètò ìlú Ìbàdàn tó bá dọjọ́ Wednesday láago 8 sí 9 àṣálẹ́ àjọmọ̀ àgbádùn ẹ̀.
Ìjẹ̀ṣà ọmọ wa ò Ìjẹ̀ṣà.
Ìyá bá mi lọ ìyá bá mi lọ sí Ìjẹ̀ṣà ìyá lọmọ ilé ní ọ̀wá òwe Ìjẹ̀ṣà òṣèré onílẹ̀ òbí ọmọ ẹlẹ́ni àtẹ̀ká ọmọ ẹlẹ́ni ẹwẹlẹ mẹ́lẹ̀ dàgbà Ìjẹ̀ṣà kí mọ́jọ́bì ogbó kákáká Ìjẹ̀ṣà á fẹ́ràn ọkà bí yán kíyan bá lè bí ẹ̀kúrọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀ṣà ní kò gbé kò á jẹ́ ètò ọmọ òbòkun ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní Solution FM àwẹ̀ ní house libe 93.9 lágbára Olódùmarè lọ́jọ́ ọjọ́ Àlàmísì ọjọ́ Thursday lágogo 5 sí 6 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ni a máa gbọ́ lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ètò ọmọ òbòkun látọwọ́ comrade Sunday ọmọ owó ẹ̀yẹ Sunday ọmọ owó ẹ̀yẹ kí n mọ̀ bí onímọ̀ òní náà ní kájọ gbádùn rẹ̀ kí gbọ́ngbọ́n kẹ̀kan sí i lẹ́tọ̀ ọmọ òbòkun àyè ìpolówó ọjà wà lébẹ̀ àyè àti gbé wọn bá mi tàn á sórí ètò ọ wà lébẹ̀ nọ́mbà ọjà sọ̀dọ̀ mi kí n àfẹ́ a máa pè mí fún ìpolówó ọjà 080-338-41485 òun ni fi a máa pè mí lápolówó ọjà rẹ ètò kí a máa gbọ́ kí a máa gbádùn kọ́ tọ́ni sọ́nà nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ìdílé kí ìdílé fi ní dàrú kí a máa ṣe gbogbo rẹ̀ rẹ́gẹ́rẹ́gẹ́ kí gbogbo rẹ̀ a máa bá mu lágbára Olódùmarè ní ọjọ́ àlàmísì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a máa gbọ́ a látagogo 5 sí 6 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ètò ọmọ òbòkun lètò òbòkun á gbé a o.
Ìjẹ̀ṣàmọ́dù apanada ọmọ ẹlẹ́ni àtẹ̀ká ọmọ ẹlẹ́ni ẹwẹ́lẹ́.
Túndé ti dé o ọmọ Adédọ́kun.
àwa olólùfẹ́ ìfẹ́ ẹlẹ́nìfẹ́ ta ìfẹ́ ẹ̀ta nífẹ́ ìlú nífẹ́ ẹ̀yà bàbá ń fìfẹ́ bára ẹni lò inú ilé ó dùn ìlú ó gún régé àwa olólùfẹ́ lẹ́tọ̀ pẹ̀lú èmi ọmọ yín ọ̀rẹ́ yín olólùfẹ́ yín Túndé Adédòkun ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ pàdé lọ́jọ́ Wednesday ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí láago 10 sáago 1 òru ìpele lẹ́tọ̀ yìí ìpele àkọ́kọ́ la ti ń fọ̀rọ̀ fẹ́ jẹ́wọ̀ tí gbogbo èèyàn sì mọ̀ dá sí i ìpele kejì la pè ní má sunkún mọ́ nínú ìrìn àjò ìfẹ́ rẹ ìpele kẹta lórí ètò àwọn olólùfẹ́ la ti sọ̀rọ̀ bùsùn láago 12 sáago 1 òru fún ìkéde àti ìpolówó ọjà ẹ pè mí sórí nọ́mbà yìí 080-69-78-97-95 àwa olólùfẹ́ àjọ máa gbọ́ ni.
ìdílé tó ti fẹ́ dàrú ètò olólùfẹ́ àtúnṣe.
kágbàdo tó dáyé nǹkan kan lẹ́dìẹ̀ ń jẹ kó tó dàsìkò yìí àti àwọn ọmọ sí i tó ń tóní ìsìn tí wọ́n ń gbọ́ nǹkan kan làwọn bàbá wa ń gbọ́ láyé àtijọ́. orin àgbà níkànnì ti Solutions 93.9 FM pẹ̀lú Adédàmọ́lá Láfẹnwá tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Láfì ní gbogbo jọ́bọ̀ Thursday láti máa gbọ́ àwọn orin John lóríṣiríṣi látòrí Haruna Ibà Gani àgbà. padà sórí Yusuf Ọlátúnjí.
ẹsẹ̀ tẹ́ pé wọ́n dé lámìrì o.
Àyìnlá Ọmọwúrà.
ìbá tún gọjọ alẹ́ o. abẹ́rẹ́ ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pàdé ojú.
àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. orin àgbà níkànnì ti Solutions 93.9 FM pẹ̀lú Láfì ní gbogbo ọjọ́bọ̀ Thursday látàgò 10 alẹ́ ni o títí dago 12 gbẹ̀rẹ̀. ẹ̀yin náà láǹfààní àti pè wọlé láti béèrè fún orin John tẹ́ fẹ́. ìyẹn ni pé lọ́jọ́bọ̀ Thursday yìí níbi gẹ̀rẹ̀jẹ̀ tá à ń bá gbàlagbà láàmú darapọ̀ mọ́ Láfì láago 10 sí 12 alẹ́. orin àgbà níkànnì ti Solutions 93.9 FM ẹ má gbàlé àgbà ní gbani.
ẹ ṣí biribiri kẹ́bọ̀ mi o. iwájú lọ́lọ́kọ̀ yín wà mí lọ. bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́lọ́kọ̀ yín wà mí lọ.
òkè àdókè bọ́ńlá yàrá ní bàtì ó yàrá Jericho UCH ẹlẹ́yẹlé Ṣàngó Apẹtẹ Ọ̀jọ́ Báṣọ̀run Ìwòrò Total Garden fẹ́ẹ́rẹ́ ọlọ́run ṣògo ó sùn Solutions FM má lọ tù gbé.
Old school jazz with Laffy.
Ọbángíjí ọba Èdùmàrè ló pín kálukú níṣẹ́. Ọbángíjí ọba Èdùmàrè ló pín kálukú níṣẹ́. Èdùmàrè adé o. Èdùmàrè Ọmọdé bàbá